Each week, the PBA bowlers tackle a different animal named oil pattern intended to challenge the best bowlers in the world. Omaha gave us the Viper, where we witnessed Brad Angelo strike for his first career title. In Michigan, the chameleon pattern emerged, only this time Mike Machuga had no problem spotting the pocket. Last week, the PBAers were challenged by the Scorpion, but the big nasty Wes Malott was the pest that stung the competition. This week, the Cheetah will attack. Who will finish as the big cat? The Cheetah Championship is next.
Wonderful afternoon to be inside in Buffalo. Snow, wind, cold, great conditions though here in Cheektowaga, and we welcome you to Jimmy V Week on ESPN as we continue our commitment to the V Foundation for cancer research in tribute to Jim Valvano and his dream to defeat cancer. This week, for the 29th time in PBA history, the best in bowling have converged in Buffalo. Today, from the AMF Thruway Lanes in Cheektowaga, New York, the Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour presents the Cheetah Championship. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson here with you today, and today's broadcast shaping up a lot like one we had at a similar time last year in South Carolina. It was an all-lefty showcase, almost the same case today. Mike Scroggins, Parker Bone III, Patrick Allen, all on this telecast as well. But we begin, Randy, with really the main story of this week. Local boy makes good, Jack Jurek.
Well, there's no question who the crowd favorite's going to be today. It's Jack Jurek. And Rob, he told us the other night he's been trying to win this tournament for the last 22 years. But in order for him to do that, he'll have to defeat the first of three southpaws. The party at Scroggies is back. Can Jack Jurek be the party crasher?
Your number 2 seed, Patrick Allen, the southpaw, makes his first TV show of the season as he hunts for his 11th career title. And the last time Parker Bone III won was that all-lefty show in Spartanburg, South Carolina last year. Today, the 24-year vet looks for a career title, 32, fifth most in PBA history. We take a look now at our men's field on the stepladder bracket. Jurek versus Scroggins will begin the men's side, but we begin for the first time with the Women's Series Championship presented by the United States Bowling Congress. Number 2 seed, Stephanie Nation, duels her idol, Carolyn Doran Ballard. And Stephanie Nation has already won this season, taking the inaugural PBA Women's Series Showdown event this season, that in Omaha back in November. She defeated Michelle Feldman. Michelle Feldman not making the show for the first time this season. Apparently, nobody told her there was an event this week. She has been absolutely steamrolling through the competition. A little light in the pocket there. An all-righty showdown on the female side. Just one righty on the male side. And again, the men's competition will come up right after this women's title match. Jack Jurek versus Mike Scroggins.
Heard a little double dribble on that first shot, Rob, and that'll take a little bit of the hook off, and no harm done. First frame spare for Stephanie Nation, and a tall order for her today because she's taking on her idol in Carolyn Doran Ballard. Carolyn tour tested, 20 tour wins on the women's tour. She knows what it takes to win on television.
Get out, baby. Perfect.
Gets it.
Come on.
Looked a little high on initial impact, but Ballard gets all 10 to drop as we take a look at the big picture of our matchup. And it is really one for the ages in the sense of youth versus elder statesmen. And Stephanie Nation has said from the get-go when we were talking with her, Carolyn Doran Ballard is my idol, period. And Carolyn saying, you know, I've really kind of taken Stephanie under my wing, both on and off the lanes as well.
Got quick.
The two big numbers on that graphic that stood out to me, Rob, was that Carolyn Doran-Ballard averaged 230 in match play, Stephanie Nation only 214. It's a big difference. 16 pins a game is a lot over the course of a tournament. Right now, Carolyn Doran-Ballard looking to go cross alley to convert the 10-pin.
And both ladies like the fact that the women are starting off our broadcast and not bowling after the men. We'll talk about that in a second. Ballard goes strike, spare, and both of them feel that this gives them more of an honest chance and an honest look at the lanes.
Well, it's tough after the guys, you know, go out there with the weapons that they use and the high rev rates, and they really destroy an oil pattern in just a matter of a couple of games. And the women get on with, you know, not as the rev rates are lower. They can't hook as much as the guys, and it's tough for them to bowl on that existing pattern. But now you take the women now and you put them right around first, second arrow, and they keep the ball in play and on line. Now they can bowl some scores. Did you see the four-step approach of Stephanie Nation? Great knee bend, keeps her eyes on her target, great follow through. And I think that this oil pattern is tailor-made for her because she likes to throw the ball fast.
Now, we mentioned a heavy lefty show on the men's side, the lone righty, Jack Jurek, and these two women bowl in a similar fashion, in a similar place on the lanes for him, so he's not too bothered by what they're going to do to break down his lanes as he's waiting in the wings to take on Mike Scroggins.
Not only is he not bothered, he's kind of excited about it because he thinks that he's going to play just to the inside of where the women are playing, and he says all they're going to do is help my shot. 6-3 match play record, and lost to Carolyn in position round.
We asked Stephanie about bowling against Carolyn Doran-Ballard, and she said, you know, it was instant admiration for me. You know, she's fiery like I am. She's definitely taken me under her wing, looking out for my best intentions, and she's going to have to try her best not to think about who she's bowling against, just bowl her game. Carolyn Doran-Ballard, this is an important day in her life and in her household. Pearl Harbor Day today. Her dad was a POW in World War II for 9 months, buried in Arlington Cemetery, the late George Doran. And she said growing up, their answering machine always said, nobody's home, and always remember Pearl Harbor Day. Those are the kind of shots that Carolyn has been seeing for a majority of this season. She gave us a term to describe the season. We're going to avoid using it here, but she said, look, I've been a bad bowler, have not performed well this year, struggling to bowl, but she's made some adjustments. And her husband, Del Ballard Jr., soon to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, a big part of that. Del is here as well to watch his wife roll. Here is Carolyn on the tough start to the season and how she has adjusted.
Well, I did start off very slow, was not bowling well, so after Detroit, Del, my husband, looked at me and said, not working, we got to make a few changes. So we went home, made my timing a little bit later. I've worked on some new hand positions to try to get my ball to go through the pins a little bit harder. Lane conditions are a little tougher out here this year, so if I'm going to compete, I got to keep practicing, and that's what I did. That's a good one.
Drop and give me 10. There's her husband with the sign to their daughter, Alyssa. Del Ballard Jr. watching his wife, Carolyn Doran-Ballard, have a lead early on. Our continuing coverage of the Women's Championship here in Cheektowaga when we return to Greater Buffalo. And
the Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour on ESPN is brought to you by the United States Bowling Congress, ensuring the integrity and protecting the future of the sport of bowling. Bowl with us. By Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. By Motel 6, the official lodging partner of the PBA. And by Denny's, where America's favorite breakfast is now available to go. Real breakfast 24/7.